Hey cake lovers, welcome to the Sweet Side end of year review. I love that I created this series because I was thinking, what new series can I create? And I thought, let's talk about things, new product launches, new controversies, and not just cake. As you can see with this series, I do like all sweet things like, chocolates, biscuits, anything sweet. I think this year was a very challenging year for people who created sweet treats. And I know not even just that, people in business in general, it's been a really tough year. But obviously, I'm going to concentrate on those people who create sweet treats. And it was just that, again, ingredient prices were so high, and just trying to balance the books to actually make a living from producing sweet treats has been really, really hard. We've heard recently about the price of chocolate, for example, and how much it's gone up to the point where even really big manufacturers are reducing the amount of chocolate that they use in their bars. And because they've reduced it so much, it means they can't legally call it a chocolate bar, they have to call it chocolate flavouring. This is the state that we're in at the moment. So those small businesses who are still using a big amount of chocolate in their desserts, you have to applaud them, and if you can, support them, because chocolate prices, I remember when I used to bake, and chocolate was expensive, but chocolate prices now, people are spending 500, £600 on chocolate amounts that you would think are actually not that big. And it's just like, how are people surviving? So when you see your small business, putting out their price, and a lot of small businesses put up their prices reluctantly and almost like, oh, I don't really want to do it. But it's because everything is so expensive. Green ingredient prices are so expensive, and they need to make a living. Unfortunately, because of this, we've seen quite a few businesses close, not just because of ingredient costs, but because of the general sort of trading position at the moment, in terms of that, us consumers are really looking at our budgets and being like, actually, I can't afford that. So, whereas, for example, you might have, when it comes to a birthday, you might have got a custom cake and you're like, I can't afford it, so I'm just going to go and get a cake from a supermarket. It's that tight. So it's like I say, it's been another challenging year for small businesses, and I don't think it's going to get much better next year, really. I think we're going to see more small businesses close next year. Sorry to start off the vlog as a kind of sort of downbeat, but I just wanted to talk about the actual reality of small businesses, because I think a lot of people still don't get it. And when small businesses, like I said, put up the prices, they're like, oh, why are you putting up prices for? Blah, 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 blah. This is why, to make a living. But I also want to talk about like some of the fun releases. So Marks Spencer's again released so many sort of sweet, really good sweet treats. You had the whole chunky cookie phase, you had the whole sort of chunky chocolates as well. Pistachio again was a big feature in a lot of desserts. And I think one thing that I remember Marks Spencer did, it was like a pistachio sort of dip. So you had the dip, and then you had like I think it was shortbread from what I remember, because I actually bought it and you dip it in, and it was really nice. I mean, it was expensive for what it was, but it was really nice. Um, some of the sort of quite sort of out of there things that they did, they partnered with Marmite and they brought out these Marmite desserts. So you have the dessert and it was a hint of Marmite, and I did try one of them not that long ago for my short form, and it was horrendous. It was a, what was it? A pecan blondie with a hint of Marmite, and oh my god, it was too much Marmite for me. Like, if that's a hint, I don't know. It was just too much for me. So yeah, wasn't the biggest fan of that. Krispy Kreme Crocs. Do you remember I did one of my sweet side was about that, and that was really interesting. I'd be interested to know if anyone actually bought them. I'm sure people did, but people probably bought them without actually wearing them, maybe keeping them as like a kind of like collectible. But I don't like Crocs. I think they're ugly shoes. I don't care. They're ugly. They may be comfortable, but they just don't look nice. So it's a no from me. Jaffa Cake brought out a lot of different flavors. We had hot honey. We had, was it yuzu lemon? And then we had sort of supermarket own brands bringing out their own version. Like I know Sainsbury's have recently brought out the Cherry Bakewell Jaffa Cake, which, as I have pointed out, Aldi brought out a good few months ago. So it's interesting that Sainsbury's are actually copying from Aldi, because you know everyone talks about how much Aldi copies from everybody else, but not in this instance. And as we kind of go coming later on into the year, you know, it's Christmas next week. Gingerbread has featured a lot. The gingerbread Doritos, which controversially I actually really liked. And I remember when I did a review and people were like, how can you like that? But what you have to remember is that gingerbread, as much as it's mainly known for being in sweet things, the spicy element means that actually it will go quite well with savoury. And I like them. And now that the gingerbread Doritos, I think initially it was only in Tesco, but I've seen it in Morrison's, I've seen it in Aldi. So if you see it, pick it up and try it. Especially if you like gingerbread. But if you don't, just try it. Like, don't let the kind of weird combination put you off. So next year, it'll be interesting to see what next year brings. Already, as happens every year, I don't know why people get so surprised about it. Yes, Easter stuff is out already, but Easter stuff comes out in December now, because it's almost like this continuing train. It's like, oh well, Christmas, we got to keep going, and they always overlap stuff. It's been going on like this for years. So when people go in and they're like, oh look, there's Easter eggs, blah blah blah, and film it, I'm like, it happens every year. Why are you so surprised? It's nothing new. So the one I'm looking forward to trying, I mean, am I looking forward to it? Is the Oreo and cream egg collaboration. So it's Oreo biscuit and inside is Cadbury's cream egg. And you know the inside of a Cadbury's cream egg is so sweet. But I think it might work because the Oreo biscuit, as much as I'm not a big fan, Oreo biscuit I don't think is very sweet. So it might work. But I think that is out already. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I've done with Christmas, what's coming out for Easter? You can buy it. I'm not sure where you can buy it. I can't remember. If I find out, I'll pull it up here. But yes, so Sweet Side over for another year. Looking forward to seeing what everyone's going to bring out next year. I'm hoping the trading conditions for businesses are a lot better next year. 2026 we go again. Until next time, Kate lovers.